And so please welcome our guest. We got an icon
radio,
joining us
audio and video
on the stream.
KSMA, and this is Tucson.
Great.
Fox Theater 43.
Great.
I'll write it down and slip it over to you.
I got you right here, actually, right now, Kathy. And we're going to be good morning.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. My name is B. Fegan. This is Weirdo, and I promise you we're normal people, so don't be weirded out by our strange radio names.
Hi there.
I'm very excited to have you on, and thank you so much for joining us. So this is our podcast broadcast. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and forth from on air to on the stream for a few minutes as we catch up.
Okay.
Because we have so many things to cover, and of course promote your show at Fox Theater. We're excited that you're coming to Tucson.
Me too.
And congratulations for being on the road and for everything, really. I mean, these last 6 years.
I'm telling you, man, it's been brutal. I'm so happy to be back to work. I can't even tell you.
Yeah, and being back able to fly commercially, because she was banned from flying.
Fly list. No fly list. Yeah. And the Interpol list overseas.
Yeah. So wow. And how long did that last?
2 months.
Just 2 months. Okay. But that's 2 months. Was it like, did COVID happen?
It canceled my tour. I was, in the middle of a 50-city tour, and the second 25 cities I couldn't do because of being on the no-fly list.
Wow.
That's insane.
So it ended up costing you a ton of money on that.
And I had to really lawyer up because they were very seriously investigating me and trying to charge me with conspiracy to assassinate the president of the United States.
Right. Yeah, for that infamous photo that was in a national publication.
Oh, yeah.
If you're doing it, you didn't keep the secret very well.
No, I didn't. I figure if you go for the king, you got to cut him off at the head.
Yes, exactly.
Metaphorically
speaking.
Right.
I know. People don't get metaphors nowadays. They're very literal people. Now, when you fly, you're not on the no-fly list, but is TSA, are they a pain in the ass that you were on the no-fly list? Do you get searched like extra hard? And
I get searched every time. I'm convinced there's something on my driver's license or passport or whatever. But the scariest one was when I was right after the Trump photo came out 6.5 years ago. I couldn't work here because I was too toxic and blacklisted and all that stuff. And so nobody would book me. And all the theaters got bomb threats and death threats if they tried to book me. So I actually don't blame the theaters. But I was able to tour overseas, and I was on the Interpol list. So every airport that I went to, they would stop me and take my phone and my passport, and they just go away for an indeterminate amount of time. And you don't know when they're coming back. So like when I was stopped at the airport in Singapore, I had a show at 7:00 that night. And I'm trying to explain to the Singaporean, authorities, hey, I got gay guys and ladies waiting for me in the theater. Let's go. Let's chop. Let's move this terrorist thing along. And they didn't quite appreciate my sense of humor. So
you're like,
I was in the waiting room.
The gay mafia is waiting.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they're just like, oh, you were wrong, Kathy Griffin. We do not have gay people in Singapore.
It's illegal to be gay in Singapore. So as a matter of fact, I'm actually joking because I wouldn't even say I have gay people waiting for me because that would have put them in danger. But what's funny is in Singapore, especially, the gay guys who showed up were so flamboyant that's kind of their like middle finger to the authorities. But they did have someone from the government in the back of the theater during my show, making sure I said nothing against the Singaporean government. And I said, oh, don't worry. I only make fun of my own president.
Yeah. You're not trying to get banned on every continent,
Oh, and by the way, let me just say, that picture scandal was such BS because I've been a stand-up comic. I'm 63. I've been doing this for decades. I've made fun of every president, Democrat or Republican, doesn't matter. That's called punching up. If you can't make fun of the president in your comic, then who the heck can you make fun of? So I still believe in being able to make fun of the president and powerful people. I'm in a feud with Elon Musk because I like to go for the most powerful guys.
Nice.
Yeah. Your feud with Elon Musk. Tell me how this started.
Oh, this is awesome. Okay. So it was the night before the midterm elections and I was bored. So I go on Twitter. So whenever I'm bored, I go, how can I stir up some trouble? So I go on Twitter right after he bought it and I changed my username from Kathy Griffin to Elon Musk. And I start tweeting as Elon. And I said, I've spoken to the mothers of all my children, and I've decided that I am firmly pro-choice. Hashtag Biden Harris. Hashtag vote blue no matter who. So all these news outlets fell for it, and they picked it up, and it made the rounds. And then he was furious. He sent all his fanboy army against me. And all they do is go, you're a man, you're ugly, you're old and irrelevant. Like, that's their big insult. That's all they got.
Right.
So then Elon kicks me off Twitter. And there's like a little bit blowback. And so this is so twisted. I start tweeting from my dead mother's Twitter account. And this is the ghost of Maggie Griffin. I've spoken to Elon Musk, and he wants you to vote for Biden Harris. He wants all liberals down ballot. So then he takes away my mother's account, which cracked me up. So then I get a call from Jimmy Kimmel, and he says, I love that you're sticking it to Elon. We wrote a sketch where you're going to come on the show and play Elon Musk, and we're just going to make fun of him. And it drove him crazy. It drove him so nuts, and he got so much bad publicity, he reinstated my account. And so now I go back on there every so often. But I think that guy's a joke. I mean, he's a billionaire, and he could be doing so much good. Think of the good he could be doing, like Mackenzie Bezos, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. She makes these amazing donations, and I thought maybe she would start the ball rolling, but Elon isn't going for it. He's just a crazy white supremacist, and I call him out on it. And none of these powerful guys like it, but I can't resist.
Well, that is punching upward, and it is Elon's case is super odd, and the argument was he bought Twitter for the right of free speech, so taking your account away obviously goes against that argument, and it doesn't take a genius to figure that out either. You're like, wait a second.
It's funny because if I prevailed over the Department of Justice, you think I'm scared of some crazy billionaire? That guy's crazy. I mean, I live in Malibu now, which is fun because I have a whole new set of celebrities I can make fun of. But we have like Larry Ellison lives there and he's a billionaire. Mark Andreessen, he's a billionaire. Elon goes to their house. I can't wait to run into Elon at the grocery store or something. Oh, God. I would go right up to his face. In fact, one time I went to a speaking engagement at this tech conference, and the woman who was running it sent me an email literally begging me not to disrupt the speech with Elon. And I said, okay, because you're my friend, I won't do it. But I was dying to just run up on stage and just call him a fool and run back. But I didn't do it. I controlled myself for once.
Nice. See, look at you. You can be the bigger person too,
But look, let me tell you something. Last night, I had a show in Huntington, New York, which is on Long Island. And you can look this up online. They had a Trump caravan of Nazis protesting the Kathy Griffin show. So it's now almost 7 years since that picture. And the Trumpers are so furious. They had a whole caravan and they had a red wig on a wig stand and they were holding it up like my Trump picture, which I think is hilarious because it's just good publicity for me. And my fans were walking into the show and they're flipping off the caravan and they've got, a picture of Joe Biden tied up and gagged on the back of a truck. And they got pictures of me. And I mean, it was just funny because here's a Sunday in New York and they got like 12 or 15 trucks and they have the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. Who the hell is treading on them? I don't know why they're so worried about being treaded on. No one is treading on their rights. They're protesting my show. And guess what? I believe in their right to protest, and they can have a wig head of me and hold it up all day. That's called the First Amendment. That's fine with me.
Absolutely. We're talking with comedian Kathy Griffin. She went from her life on the D list to her life on the PTSD list and currently on tour, going to be performing at the Fox Theater on April 3rd. And she joined us on the podcast broadcast. And it's been, this last 7 years, we're talking and catching up about everything that Kathy's been through. And what's great about your story, it's just such a human story because you never know, life deals you highs and lows and then how you deal with it and rising from the ashes and everything about that is, beautiful. And I'm glad to see that you're back on the road and you got new material from it. And like, a great comedian, they always take the, pain and they turn it into art. and you've had
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
really
inspiration.
believe in that. I call the show My Life on the PTSD List because I've actually been diagnosed with PTSD by a psychiatrist and my oncologist because the Trump thing happened. I was out of work. I'm a workaholic. I didn't know what to do with myself. I got addicted to prescription pills, which is almost funny at 59 years of age. Who the hell becomes a junkie at 59? Me. So then I tried to take my life because I was jacked up on pills. I was on a 3-day 5150 psych hold. So it's like I'm Britney and Kanye combined. I basically walked into my own act. And then I get sober, which I'm thrilled about. I'm 3.5 years sober. But a year after I get sober, I get diagnosed with lung cancer. And I've never even smoked. And so they took out half of my left lung. And by the way, I don't appreciate how you two are flaunting your 2 lungs in my face right now. Come on, give me a break. I get it. You're better than me. You have 2 lungs. Oh, I'm so great. I'm better than Kathy Griffin. I see your rib cage is moving.
No, you definitely don't see my rib cage, and I get winded watching people work out. So I'm one lunged with you, Kathy. I promise you. Oh yeah, but I mean, obviously, like, you're on the up and up, and you get diagnosed with this. You have this very scary moment, and have a surgery like that to take off half the lung. How did
it
you
altered my voice? My voice is a little bit higher, so now they use this very sexy headset instead of a regular microphone, and I feel like Janet Jackson or something, and I'm often mistaken for her. So I run around with this headset on. I make fun of all the treatments that I'm getting for PTSD, acupuncture and cupping, Kundalini yoga. I don't even know who Kundalini is. I don't understand any of it. But if it helps me feel better and get to the stage, I'll do anything.
Oh yeah, I love it. And it's therapeutic for sure. But that's the one thing that, as a stand-up comedian, they can take away other things, but they can't take away your ability to create and perform. And that's, honestly been the lifeline, because
100%, because look, I'm still a little scary in my own industry. I don't have a TV special yet. I would love to do another stand-up special. I'm in the freaking Guinness Book of World Records. I've done more TV specials than any comic, male or female, living or dead, but I haven't done one in 10 long years, and I'm so ready. So I think this tour will be helpful in that way, and every show is different. And by the way, I'll be making fun of Tucson right to your faces, so get ready. I know. I know a Cheese Crisp. I know Carrie Lake. I know Kirsten Cinema. You got a lot of good juicy crazies I can make fun of out there.
Yes, we do. We're the Florida of the West, and we definitely give you tons of material. Absolutely. With comedy specials, there's streaming services all over the place. I'll pick up streaming services. You ever think about just releasing a comedy special on Twitter to stream?
I don't know about Twitter. Elon would be pretty pissed off, but who knows? I put my life on the D list on my TikTok, and kids discover it, which I find is hilarious because they think it's like a new show or something. But eventually, one of the streamers will probably give me a special, and if not, I did a movie called Kathy Griffin: A Hell of a Story, and that is on Amazon, and you can see it for free. And I made that one all by myself. So that was 6 years ago. It really covered in its entirety the Trump thing, and it has a real lot of documentary footage too. So it got really good reviews. It got the best reviews of my career. And so maybe something like that will happen again. We'll see.
Yeah, well, it's a fascinating story from beginning to end, and the way that you tell stories has always been, so entertaining. Obviously, you made an entire career out of being a storyteller, and you just have nothing but inspiration to take this and turn it into a work of comedic art. Kathy Griffin is going to be performing April 3rd for the My Life on the PTSD List at Fox Theater, foxtheater.com for more ticket information. If you want to see Kathy live, we're going to continue the conversation on the podcast broadcast and wrap things up. But Kathy, on the FM side, I'd like to thank you for taking time to talk with us, and I'm very excited about rise from the ashes and you like overcoming all these obstacles in your life and becoming a stronger person for it. It's very noticeable, and I don't know you personally, but I'm proud of the journey that you've continued to be on and overcome.
Oh, thanks. I really, really appreciate it, and I can't wait to hit the stage at the Uptown.
Excellent. Well, the Uptown is not the venue.
It's Fox. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm doing so many. I get confused.
She just had a spinal tap moment. It is okay.
It's my PTSD.
As somebody who suffers with ADHD, and I was born and raised here, I never get the thing. I'm like, it's the one place down the road. It'll be fine.
We know.
You know me. I'll probably say, "Thank you, Uptown. Good night, everybody." No, it's the Fox. It's the Fox.
Yeah. There is no Uptown in Tucson. It's a one-horse town. So just a town. You're in it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Just say Tucson 3 times. Everybody will lose their mind and they'll be happy.
I love it. Tucson, Tucson, Tucson.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I can't wait to see you when you come here live. And, good luck in getting that comedy special. I'm sure it's only a matter of time, honestly.
I hope so. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, what like pain in the ass with all this political stuff and people losing their sense of humor during that last political run. And, as me being in radio, I saw it. My colleagues saw it coming from a mile away because, we had this person that my entire life was a punchline. Right. And then you said anything, even not political, just remotely funny, punching up towards a billionaire playboy. And then you started getting these angry calls. And that was from people who were loyal listeners to like an alternative station. And like, what the fuck is going on, man?
No, people are very, they're very passionate and they love Trump and they love Elon. And to me, it seems like a cult. I've been doing stand-up my whole life. I've made fun of Bill Clinton and Barack Obama and George W. and George H.W. and all of them.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it, but I get it. People have their beliefs, and that's fine with me. Just come to the show with an open heart and an open mind. And don't worry, I have plenty of good celebrity stories too. I got a great story about going to Paris Hilton's Christmas party. I make fun of people, places, and things. Nobody is safe.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
Well, I can't wait. And you've always done great stories with, just celebrity stories in general. I mean, like modern day Joan Rivers. So, hopefully. Yeah. Oh, I know you did, and you guys, so many different ways you guys are similar and you're kind of carrying the torch. So I know Joan will be proud of you as well.
I hope so.
Yeah. Nice. Well, hopefully we'll get to see you soon. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you so much for taking the time out to talk with us here on the podcast.
Thanks, you guys. You guys are awesome. And I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you, Kathy. Well, that's Kathy Griffin, everybody.